There was a time when playing video games against a computer or playing chess against a robot seemed like the most advanced technology in the world. But with artificial intelligence development rapidly gaining pace, the public release of resources like ChatGPT have seen staggering levels of progress, which has seen both excitement and fear at AI's potential.
This thing is just a human being that has read every book in the world and almost every piece of text on the internet. So it's so unpredictable in so many ways.
There is a lot of good that AI can bring in a lot of industries, but it comes down to more the government bodies themselves. What are they using AI for?
We know it's here to stay, we know it's only going to improve, and we know it's part of everyone's jobs.
AI is going to create jobs that we can't even imagine at the moment.
Chat Generative Pre-training Transformer, also referred as ChatGPT, is an AI chatbot that uses natural language processing to create human-like conversational dialogue. It has been making headlines since November 2022 for its ability to respond to complex questions, write poetry, generate code, plan vacations, and translate languages. Almost every day, new stories are being released about AI and what it can do. It has helped with curing disease, locating missing people, and even solving crimes. But what is the cost of its progress? A recent study from American banking company Goldman Sachs suggested that approximately 300 million jobs could be replaced by AI, almost 5 times the UK's population. Companies like BT have said that over the next 7 years, 11,000 new roles will be created to manage AI at the expense of 55,000 current roles, leaving a deficit of 44,000 obsolete roles. When contacted, BT declined to comment. With AI being heralded as the future, many universities like King's College in London are offering scholarships to those who wish to research AI further. With so much still left to learn about it, people are bracing themselves for a dynamic shift in the job roles that are available to them, with the threat of obsolescence refusing to go away. After unprecedented developments in artificial intelligence, it's one of the most talked about topics at the moment. But there's a lot of worry, as experts are calling it automation anxiety, about whether it could displace jobs or even pose a threat to humanity's existence. Some people were ahead of the curve, like Sean Ruane, whose company MindData uses AI to improve efficiencies in the types of insights that therapists can gather from their patients by recognizing behavioral patterns and helping to identify potential causes of mood changes. MindData has helped to create new jobs in the field and has also used the potential of AI to assist existing jobs. Sean believes that the development will create jobs in order to effectively use AI, but that it's important that this is acted on swiftly.
Firstly, it's just understanding the two broad different concepts of artificial intelligence. At the moment, the AI that we tend to be focused on is quite narrow AI, as they call it. Artificial general intelligence is something that's probably going to be more existential, shall we say. But at the moment, narrow AI is only going to be as effective as the way that we frame it, the context that we put the AI in.
AI can be used for some incredible work. I think in a lot of industries, in games development for here, it can be used as an assist. But for me, it kind of comes down to more, not to get too political with anything, but I think it's a lot of people will have different interests in what they want the AI for.
This university lecturer, who requested to remain anonymous, is currently observing a marking boycott. However, he expresses concerns about whether aspects of their role will become obsolete as a result of automation.
I think the biggest fear people have is the unknown. Of course, there are so many jobs that could be replaced by AI, and everyone has a concern that they might be next.
It would be a failure of policymakers, employers, to just let people's job roles go extinct to AI. ChatGPT was not a known quantity last year, for example, but now we can already imagine, yeah, that would be quite an important role for any organisation to have.
So what is the automation paradox? Well, while recognizing the potential of AI, there are concerns about its management and whether society will become automated, leaving people out of work and concerned about their futures.
Alexa, turn on the kettle.
Okay.
There are difficult decisions ahead for some, while companies adapt to AI becoming a bigger part of the workplace. For people like Ed Jennings, the emphasis is on training and developing staff rather than just replacing them.
Firstly, there isn't any policy or any regulation in place right now. So for me, I look at AI as a new skill set. In school, we were taught, I remember we were one of the first to learn how to use Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and Excel. Of course, use that every single day, but a lot of those tools are starting to fade out for us now in the workplace.
But in 5 to 10 years, there are going to be so many different roles that we just don't understand. And the reason why that's important is policymakers need to make sure that they are training today's people to be equipped to deal with how we progress with AI.
For me, things like AI and how to use these different AI tools, which is a skill set in its own, asking it the right questions or right commands or follow-on questions, should be something that is taught in school or through college.
While retraining is so important to any developments, it's also worth considering that a lot of people might not want to retrain.
Retraining is a difficult one because this AI phenomenon, or whatever we're going to call it, is so imminent that I do think the retraining will happen a lot sooner than people think.
I still think it's very much in its infancy development stage, so I think very much from a developer point of view, that's where the jobs are going at the moment, that's where the resource is going, that's where the money is being spent.
Suryan Chandra, ex-co-founder of Automata and founder of the Mind Distillery, is on a mission to push the boundaries of AI innovation and envisions a future where AI empowers humanity and augments our capabilities while maintaining ethical standards.
In the next 10 years, AI is one of the many other forces that will fundamentally reshape how we see the world or how we have constructed the world. AI is one of them, climate change is another, so mass migration and etc. The reshaping of geopolitics and what we know of a stable life.
AI can be really powerful, but the problem is that unless you know what you're looking for, what you're analysing, then it's kind of just a runaway train with all of this potential that's not really being used effectively.
With where it's going and how far generative AI has come, such as ChatGPT, I think there's a lot more to come. I think we'll see the impacts in the next couple of years.
The fear of job loss due to AI is absolutely, I think, real. I think more than fear of job loss, it's the fear of change, and change at a speed that we are not used to coping with.
AI technology continues to make headlines in the music industry, with recent reports of the Beatles extracting vocals from an old recordings to create a new song. Some have also used AI to write songs in the style of musicians, which has been criticized by artists like Nick Cave, who called it a grotesque mockery of what it is to be human.
I think for songwriters, it's probably more threatening, where you can probably ask AI to write lyrics. Now you can do, I've done it, I tested ChatGPT the other day just in preparation for this, and you can literally ask it to write lyrics for a song. And scarily, some of them are quite good.
A lot of creative industries are seeing a big shift in the way that they're interacting with their clients through AI. So we've seen that artificial intelligence can, potentially replace creatives.
It's just so important to remember that in all these creative fields, you have to keep that human aspect going, because otherwise it doesn't become an escapism thing. When you're listening to music, you're playing your games, you're doing this, that and the other. it just becomes robotic.
Ed was able to show an example of how his company uses AI.
So what I've got here is a tool called Jasper, which we use for writing a lot of our marketing content. So you can see up here I've written a brief description of what I'd like Jasper to produce. So I've asked it to write me an article about when Brewdog was sued by Elvis Presley Enterprises and why having a trademark is important, focused on the audience who are founders on our LinkedIn page. I can choose the tone of voice I want it to write in, and I can put in any keywords and then the length of the output. Then I click compose, and what it does is it will give me a short paragraph, and if it's on the right lines, I can keep clicking compose, and it will continue to write a blog for me, putting information from various sources around exactly what I've asked it to do. And the great thing for us is we can put our specific tone of voice in, so if someone wrote the same thing, unless they have the same tone of voice, it will not be the same, and will probably be pitched to a different audience as well.
However, there are also concerns that mismanagement of AI could be a threat to humanity's existence, and bodies such as Center of AI Safety, who declined a request to interview, believe that immediate regulation is needed. They said mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear wars.
It will probably cause change at a speed and scale that I think institutions, fundamentally governments and things like that, are not used to handling or changing at that speed.
I believe it could, down the line, bring the extinction of humanity because of the people behind it.
I think it's really important to continue to make AI open source and democratize it, because if you put this super powerful artificial general intelligence into the hands of a few people, then they can wield that power and cause extinction of humanity.
There are obviously horror stories on how AI could bring about the end of humanity, and we have to be realistic. It could happen. The people who are creating AI are the ones who are saying it could pose that threat.
But I think that if you democratize it and make sure that people have a say with how this is used, then I think that's going to help mitigate a lot of that risk.
And we've heard Elon Musk has been leading a big PR piece around how we should pause AI for 6 months to truly understand it and regulate it. Otherwise it will get out of control.
It's just coming full circle in a very sharp way, I think, and we will have to answer some existential questions about that.
If we were talking in the 40s and 50s about development of nuclear armament, yes, absolutely, that could bring about the extinction of humanity.
There are so many things you can do using AI, like making a digital avatar. Here's one I made of myself.
It seems that the most important factor is that AI is here to help and is here to stay. While it may replace some job roles, the coexistence of humanity and AI will continue to develop, but there is still so much that remains to be seen.